Playboy, you made that beat.
It's High School Hoops Talk with the Talking Heads. I'm your boy E. Tally with
Got Richard DeLeon and
This is Mike Daniel, Alamo City All-Star Sportsplex, proud supporter of Super Sports Media. And boy, do we got some topics to discuss today.
Happy New Year, fellas.
Happy 2025. Thank you for not adding an S to year just now. I appreciate you for that. I'm tired of seeing Happy New Year's on
there's
people's
Yeah,
posts and tags and everything. It's
yeah.
quite annoying.
It
there's not
is.
there's not enough S's for for
He's
Eric.
starting. He's starting. Hey, I got to come back for you this
He ran
time.
he ran he
Don't
ran
be
out,
look.
he
Hey,
ran
look.
out of
You know
S.
what? You've been grumpy since the dang on Cowboys just somehow played themselves out of the playoffs. You notice that?
Oh man, no man. Let me tell you. You know why I'm grumpy right now?
Why?
Because it's happy.
Never on TV.
It's New Year, right? But
Okay.
but because of a terrorist attack in New Orleans,
Oh man,
uh,
yeah,
prayers to all the folks that are impacted by that. But
yeah. That's tough.
but Notre Dame versus Georgia tonight, which is the main event of the day, I think, is getting postponed until tomorrow. So yeah, I'm a little.
You really thought that was, one first, prayers go to all the families that is impacted by this. Either you got hurt or those who lost a life, and injured. But you really think that was the game? Georgia versus the whoever they were playing?
Well,
That's
it
the
is.
game?
It's
Notre Dame?
the prime time game. It's the
Yeah, I didn't but the
45.
Georgia's quarterback's not playing.
Yeah, but still, I like Notre Dame, so I've been a
Got it.
Notre Dame guy my whole life. Um, if I was smart enough, I would have gone.
Rudy.
If I was smart enough, I would have gone there when I graduated high school. But but no, but I do think the best game of the day is probably going to be Ohio State and Oregon, though. That's going to be the
That's
best.
the game.
That's the game. That.
That's the game, dog, right there. And that's the game because everybody's full there, everybody's loaded. Also, there's no injured players from the last game, from what I remember or I heard so far, and this is the second time they're playing. And remember, Oregon barely won the first time they played,
It's going to be fun.
so that's the game for me. But I get it though, I get it. SEC fan, you want to see another SEC school get beat.
But let's address the elephant in the room here. Out of the three of us, only one of us has a team in the NFL playoffs. Uh,
Ooh,
so
ooh, he taking
So
shots.
no. I'm just saying. I mean, because it is what it is. Congratulations to the Eagles to making the playoffs. Let's just hope it's not another first round exit.
Congratulations to their management for picking up Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
So it can't
I,
just get, they just can't get props, huh? So it can't.
super
We got to
props.
blame it on the
I'm still
management,
talking to
not
your
the way they
management.
played, not the head coach.
He
The
already
management, huh?
Rich already did that. I'm giving extra props to the management for doing what was needed for you guys team to have continued success to hopefully help avoid, those first round, second round woes and to get back to NFC title games and get back to the Super Bowl and win this thing. So the management's definitely got to get praised because that was a hell of a move and pickup, man.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Okay. Okay.
I don't
Only
know.
a, only a Philly fan would take a compliment as not a compliment.
I was about to say, leave it to E-Tally to take a compliment and turn it like it's an attack or something. Come
Well,
on,
no,
man.
I just again, I
What
think.
sour grape did you eat today?
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm prepared because with everything we have going on today, it's New Year. Um, we got some big games coming up, and I'm getting my mind right to hear some of the things that's going to air today. And I just want to make
Nah,
sure the things I hear is just right.
when
Um,
due is earned, due is given.
so for me, it's just like, hey man, it's a team effort. They deserve to be there. And I warned everybody in the beginning of the year, hey man, we back. But everybody laughed at me when we lost those two back-to-back games. I don't know if y'all remember. And then we went on a 10-game win streak. And
I,
then
wa- I,
Mike
wa-
You
reminded
picked up
me.
you
I,
picked up Saquon Barkley, then you went on a 10-game win streak.
I
Well, no,
wasn't
we
like,
had them. No, we had them when we lost those two games too. So it's not like we didn't have them. We were 2-2 at the time. We were 2-2 at the time. So we had them all four games that we played to start
Hey,
the season.
you need 3 games to get synchronization, so it took some time.
Okay, got it. Well,
I
look,
wasn't laughing.
No,
Don't say I was laughing because if you remember, Dallas went into Cleveland, smacked them down week 1. Week 2, we come back home and we get smacked down by New Orleans. So I wasn't laughing at anybody at
y'all
that.
did get smacked by New Orleans.
Yeah,
Well, y'all did. We beat the brakes off of them too, by the way.
yeah.
You
I
That,
know,
haven't been able
that
to
was
do nothing, but all I've been able to do all season is check the injured reserve list and see who the hell got injured this week. That's
I
all I've been doing
know.
my Niners this week. Like it's
Hey man, it's been
good
like that
God
every
Almighty.
other year for y'all.
Look, Cal Shanahan's got 4 years of great and 4 years of doo doo. Like it's
Yeah, he
terrible.
has. He has. He has. Well, look, man, let's roll into it. We got two big games this week that we want to we got a lot of games we want to bring some light on. But let's talk about our first game of the week, and that's that Steel versus Judson.
go for it, Mike.
Thoughts?
Go for it, Mike. You got to start on that one
Because
in
that's a hard one for me. I know I'm
in
torn
our
on this game.
You
pre-production.
ain't torn. You going for Justin, and we know it's still by 20.
No, oh, no, no. Listen. Like I
In our
always keep telling
hey, hey,
everybody,
listen. I know Italy's going to be very uh objective.
diplomatic, diplomatic.
Yes, yes.
So
Political. I like political.
my heart is with Coach Cantu. But having three kids graduate from the Steel Knights community and watching them play for the last few games, it's gonna be tough to beat them. I'm going with
So
Steel.
look, I got none against Coach Cantu, none against the Steel Knights. We talking basketball. This is the talking heads. And right now, Justin's not competing. Okay, don't know what's going on. Justin's not competing. We saw that game at East Central, and still is rocking and rolling. They just came from that Allen Tournament Invitational. They ended up getting third. They played some juggernauts and they played some basketball. So they're coming off a tough, great win against Wagner. Came off a tough, great loss against Allen. Great learning points to take back. Get ready for playoffs. I got still by 20 because
Ooh, whoa,
from
whoa,
what
whoa,
I've seen
whoa, whoa, whoa,
from
hold on.
hold on, from what
Don't
I've
do
seen from
that.
Justin right, I'm gonna do
20?
that. From what I've seen from Judson and what I'm seeing from Still by 20.
20. No, come on, stop that. Don't do 20. You can say you can
You
see
can
him.
say it. I'm saying by 20.
Ooh,
Remember, I'm like
ooh,
Daniel.
ooh, he's so ooh.
Remember, Italy. I said that's a big number for me. I said double digits, but I'm not going to argue with him for all the reasons that he laid out. But I do have Steele pulling away, winning by double digits. Like I said, it's for me, it's more about Steele. Um, just how good that I feel that they are and can be. Um, but then we talked about the competition piece that Mike talked about how maybe Justin hasn't been competing to the best of their abilities lately. So, for me, it's more about Steele. But I'm not going to argue with him. I'm not going to argue with that 20.
So
Man, well,
before we
I won't
before we
say
let Eric
20.
Talley before we let Talley defend his Justin Rockets and defend his Coach Cantu Rockets, right? Let me just point out the last few games, right? You know, you know what? I'm gonna just let go ahead, Eric. Go ahead. I said my
I
piece.
think it's gonna be a close game, guys. It's gonna be a close game because one, last year what Judson was able to do to them, and this year they have a new backcourt for the most part, the Steel. And but Judson still will play hard and play strong, and again, they're going to defend home, and that's what I'm thinking. That's what I believe is going to happen. So I do have still winning, but by a very small margin, and it can go down to the last quarter, unfortunately.
I'm actually on the double digit side, and
Ooh,
I know Mike's more on the 20+ side there, but
ooh.
but I'm not going to argue on your points either, because Mike and I both were at Northside Gym yesterday watching O'Connor and Marshall, and I didn't think that game was going to be as close as it turned out to be. So you never know. Any day, anything can happen. What was that? What did that game finish yesterday, Mike? It was a single digits, wasn't it?
76-63. O'Connor stepped away at the end on him,
Okay.
but it was much closer than the 13-point finish showed.
I think it was about six by. It was a six
Yeah.
about halfway through the fourth quarter. So
hmm
so
Yeah,
Well,
Jason Vidari. Shout out to sophomore Jason Vidari, class of 2027. Uh, that kid doesn't stop. Kid played the whole game, and every time O'Connor thought they were getting away, he made 2, 3 plays involved, and it's back to 5, 6 points. He never let them get away, and
yeah,
so big shout out to that young man right there.
yeah.
I think he doesn't get talked about enough as being one of the 27s in the city, um, because he plays for Marshall. No disrespect to Marshall,
Right.
but a lot of people don't know about him and what he's trying to do and what he's doing over there. Last year I think he was either was second or third in assists last year for his district. And he was in that district with Johnson and Reagan as a freshman in the leading that district in assists. So he's one of the top 27s that, I believe in the city that I've watched play because he's leading his team and the way he's leading them. Yeah, he's not getting the dubs he's getting, but again, he's leading that team to whatever success comes, he's leading them to it.
But you always like to say, wait your turn. It's not everybody's turn right now. Wait your turn. I think when some of these big hitters in the class of 2025, when they finish their careers and graduate, you're going to start hearing a lot more about him in the
Well,
next.
no, the problem is he's in a tough district, man. He's in a tough district behind Brennan. He's in a tough
Yeah, yeah,
district with Heartland.
yeah,
And they again, you think about it, you got a 27 over there at Heartland,
yeah.
Jones. So again, he's on a team to where though he's winning certain games and he's making the playoffs to where though he's going to get the recognition, he's going to get the notoriety with that because he's making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I'm sorry, man. Marshall, I don't see Marshall making the playoffs this year again.
No,
So that's going to hurt him.
yeah, I get it. I get it. But Mike shouting him out. But I will say this: the way the kid plays, he'll be noticed.
Relentless.
Yeah, the way.
Yes, yes, yes. Again, like I say, he's one of those 27s that's making a lot of noise for himself. He made noise last year. He's definitely doing it again. So it's not like, oh, well, hey, he had this or he had that. No, man, that kid is special. He's a 27 that I wish a little bit few more people knew about him. But it's again, his time will come, like you said, as far as the national part of it all, and you know he'll
Who's
get
his
his
club?
recognition for the city.
Who's his club? What club does he play on?
Nike Pro Skills. I appreciate that assist.
Okay.
Nike Pro Skills, Coach Anderson, Austin Anderson. He plays again. He's their engine. He's one of their engines. They keep those guys going. They're gonna have a loaded group this year. From what I'm tracking, they're playing nothing but 17s this year. Little schedule hasn't been released yet. Waiting on headquarters to give full release of that of where they're gonna be playing. But I know they'll be playing on some top floors and getting a lot of love. They're gonna take their lumps this year. So I'm looking forward to it.
But that's how you
Thank
start
you.
getting for a kid like him. That's how
Yes.
you get
Yes.
recognition.
Oh, this year is gonna be special for him. And the fact that I'm right there next to him, he's gonna definitely be getting that love as far as that exposure piece. And then, hey, I didn't mention this one, Mike, and I just saw this one as I'm scrolling down here for January 3rd. But Wagner has a big game against Alamo Heights. That's another game of the day there at 12:30. They'll be playing right before the Steel game, and they're actually playing in Alamo Heights, a home game.
That's going
So,
to be a hell of an environment for them for them T-Birds to go into.
Well, that game right there, I think is going to be again. I'm picking Thunderbirds all the way. I'm looking at just the way they play. I know they're going in a hostile environment, but I have them by 7 points. Thunderbirds winning in Alamo Heights by 7.
They're coming off that same. They were in that same tournament that Steele was at in Allen, and they took a couple of losses, to finish the tournament, but a couple of great losses though. Dropped a close 1 point game to Steele, so those boys are coming back hungry. Okay, they
And
just took care of. They just took care of. Uh, yeah, they're coming back hungry.
well, remember that tournament up there in Allen, if I'm correct, there's a lot of top 5As and 6As, mainly 6As. So for them, this whole weekend and for the last 2 weekends, they've been playing during the holiday break. They've been playing a bunch of 6A teams, preparing themselves for this district run they're about to go on. So that's why I
Right.
have them by a solid 7 points. It might go a little bit more. All depends on how that defense shows up. This is over the holiday, so how kids show up during the holiday. So, but I
Right.
still
Well,
have
they
them
had they
by
had
a
a,
safe 7.
they had a great win against Bernie Champion yesterday. So they bounced back off of that Allen tournament, and they already and so looking at notes, they beat Bernie Champion by 16. Alamo Heights earlier in December beat Bernie Champion by 7. So going off data, going off paper, but Heights is at home and Heights is tough at home. And if the T-Birds come ready to play, it's going to be a great game. But I got to agree with your final decision of the T-Birds, victorious at the end of it all.
Yeah,
Rich,
That one
what's
I
your
de-
take?
that one I definitely think going into the fourth quarter is going to be anybody's world.
I got them too. I got the T-Birds as well. But like you said, I see that one being close. I've seen the atmosphere there at Alamo Heights. It's a
Tough
tough
place to play.
tough
Yes, tough.
play, but I do think that they'll come out with the victory though. Yeah.
You know who I'm praying for in that game?
Ooh,
The officials.
yes,
Because they got
yes,
to deal with
yes,
Coach Brewer, and they got to deal with
yes.
Coach Clark.
That's two
It's gonna be a
hard
long four.
guys
It's
that
gonna be a long
love
four.
yelling at
That that
officials.
that know their stuff too. Like that's the other
Exactly.
part. They know you can't give those two coaches BS as
No,
an official. You got to be
no.
correct. And so I hope that whatever chapter is responsible for assigning that game, God bless the Steel Judson in that game. I hope the proper officials are in that game.
Well, since you mentioned Bernie, I was gonna kind of scave over them a little bit, but at the same time, since you mentioned them, they got a tough one tomorrow. They play New Braunfels, and they just beat Piper.
That's where that Happy New Year's went right
There
there.
you go. I put that extra S. I took that
Yeah,
extra S off of New Year and put it on that New Braunfels. There you go. There you go. Hey, listen. As much as y'all give me stuff about it, you know who don't give me stuff about it?
Your
New
wife,
Braunfels fans. They never say, "Hey, coach, it's no S in New Braunfels." I say, I know, it's no. They don't say
do
anything.
the
Y'all the
do
only
do
ones
the
who are
the
bothered that I added
Brownsville fans
extra
care
S in
about
theirs.
basketball? Do they even care about basketball?
Hey, bro, hey, listen, they got some players out there. You'll be surprised.
Oh no,
You'll
I
be
know they do.
surprised.
Don't get it twisted.
You'll be surprised because, hey, like I said, they're in a good situation too right now. Being 15-10, going against a tough Bernie team. Who you got,
Who?
Rich?
Bernie Bromfield?
Yeah, Bernie New Braunfels.
I got
I'm
Bernie.
going Bernie. I'm going
Oh,
Bernie.
y'all got okay. On this one, I think both of them got their football players back, but I think New Braunfels is the team. And I got love for Bernie. I got New Braunfels.
I said, yeah. Where's it at? Is it in New Braunfels or is it
No,
in
it's in Bernie. It's in New
see,
Bernie.
that's another tough gym to play in.
That
And
is a very tough gym. It's small too. That's a tough gym to play
and,
in.
and Bernie, I got to tell you, uh, they don't look like a big team when you watch them from the stands, but when you get on the court level with them, they just got length across the board. So they don't have
Yes.
that big 6'8", 6'9" guy, but it's like they just have a lot of length and they're good athletes and they're basketball players too. They're you know
Yes.
they're hoopers.
I'm going to change my answer. I'm mixing up the Bromfield and Canyon Lake. I'm going to Bromfield.
Thank
You
you.
I'm
Mike
mixing
changed
up
his answer.
schools. yeah, nothing against the Bernie folks in their little hostile environment, but that small gym dealing with New Braunfels length is going to be a problem.
Yeah, they
And
have
that,
length.
yeah, they do. They do. Remember, and again, nothing disrespect against Bernie because
Not at all.
they were the 4A champions for quite a while, but they're moving up, and New Braunfels is moving down.
It makes a difference, just like John
So
Jay.
that so
Makes a
so
difference.
their style of play of playing fast and playing the way they play the ball, and that's a system team. And coach, that's one thing Coach Bronner does a great job of getting those guys prepared. And I think his guys will be a little bit more prepared versus Bernie. Not saying Bernie's not prepared, please. I'm not saying that, but I just think New Braunfels will have a better go at it. Is that better?
So it's like a boxing match, right? Y'all like when when in boxing they choose the smaller ring. They choose
Yes.
the smaller ring, and so you
Yes.
can't run, and it's close quarters with two teams that have a lot of length like that, and it feels like it's in a smaller gym. It's a low scoring game though. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game.
Nah, well, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
disagree with you there. I'm gonna disagree with you. There's gonna be a track meet. They're gonna be getting up
You
and
think
down.
so? You think so?
It
Yeah,
all depends on how
yeah.
Both those teams,
well New
yeah,
Braunfels shoots the ball.
both those teams can play defense though, man.
But listen,
It's
if
gonna be
if
it's,
if
it's gonna be a shootout both sides. They both gonna be long. Both of them are 3-point shooting teams. They're
Yeah,
both gonna be moving and getting quick shots. They don't like taking a lot of time out of their offenses. I think that game is gonna be in the 60s both sides.
yeah, okay.
Nah, maybe 50 both, but definitely above 50
yeah,
both
50,
sides.
say 50. Say
Above 50 both sides. Above 50 both sides.
that game will be first to 50, and I'm taking New Braunfels. I'm gonna go. They'll win by they'll win by 8 to 10.
All right, Bernie. All right, Greyhounds. I'm all by myself. Y'all know what to do.
Okay. All right. And then the last game I want to bring some light on is the Reagan and Johnson game. Matter of fact, it's the last game of the day for, what
Hmm.
we my guys I have. Let's talk about
I'll
it.
be there at that one too. It's
So
gonna be a hell of a basketball game. Both are undefeated in district right now, right? And so that game means something for sure. Uh, that's one of those, personal games. It's got weight. Uh, but the Rattlers are at home, right? And they
hmm
shoot the ball very, very well. Johnson's coming
okay.
with energy. Johnson's been rolling and playing good ball. Reagan's been rolling and playing good ball. Uh, but right now, Reagan Rattlers at home, Johnson Jaguars. Big fan of the Johnson Jaguars. I'm going with the
hmm
Rattlers though. I'm going with the Rattlers.
Okay. Okay. Um Rich, you go. You go.
I have Reagan as well. Uh,
Oh,
Talked about earlier.
oh,
But
it's tough.
let me just preface this. I haven't watched Johnson play since early in the season, and they weren't clicking when I watched them play. Um, so I know they've gotten better as the season's gone on, which you're supposed to do. That's the way it's supposed to be. By the time you get to district, you're supposed to be playing your best basketball. So from what I understand, they're doing that. But the games that I've watched, um, I have a better feeling about Reagan, especially being at home too. Like I said, no offense to Johnson, I haven't seen him in person since the early season when they were struggling offensively a little bit.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm going on a limb. I'm by myself, and I'm standing strong on this one. And I have Johnson by 3.
Nice prediction.
Mike Johnson by
Hey, look,
3. Yep.
I'm going Reagan, but it can't happen. I'm with you. I agree with
Yeah.
you. It definitely can't
Yeah.
happen.
And the only reason I say that, both of these teams know each other. They have a lot of history. And, with that being said, it's just when I see last year's game heading up to this year, I remember I think it was Gerald Banks knocking down the jumper to win the game. And I just think that's gonna carry over to them just playing better. I like I like Johnson's backcourt a little bit more than Reagan, so that's what I'm leaning on, honestly, to be honest with you.
So the victor of this game is going to come down to one key factor:
What's that?
who can adjust.
Right.
Because depending on the referee crew that shows up, are you getting a referee crew that's going to let these big time varsity players play a little bit? Or are you going to get the referee crew that's going to be quick whistling? It's going to be consistent. I've got faith in that part. But which team is going to be able to adjust to which type of referee crew they get? There is your victor.
Well,
So
let me ask you this:
go ahead.
if they let them play, if they let them play big boy basketball, who do you think has the advantage?
Johnson Jaguars.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnson. They got the
Johnson Jaguars,
size,
because their aggression,
Yeah.
and they
their
got the
defensive aggression, their guards.
exactly. Yes.
If the refs let them play right consistently on both sides, right, not saying favoring one side, but if it's a game that, hey, you know what, this is Reagan, this is Johnson, we're gonna let y'all figure this out. Uh, Johnson's intensity, those guards, that stuff. Guard play rules the world, and their guard play defensively definitely. In that situation, I'm going Johnson bar none.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yep. I agree. I agree.
So is it so
Um,
we talked about three very good games. Are we saying that this is the game of the week here? This particular one?
no. Well, right. Well, if I leave it up to Mike, yes, 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 and I'm a do
No,
that.
it's a tie. That one's a tie because the Heights and
No,
Wagner game is huge too.
but Mike's right in reference to just location of the two teams, their records of the two teams, where they sit in district. That's deserving of the game of the week, and that's just hands down. He's right. Mine is more of, hey, I favor um, 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 the Judson team a little bit more, the Rockets a little bit more. I got the Steel guys, so that's just more my preference of my game of the week. But Mike
Right.
is absolutely right. The real deal game of the week is the Johnson Jaguars versus the Reagan Rattlers. So I guess, like I said, mine is more personal. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I have ties in both schools, so that's why it's mine. But for the people, Mike's 1,000% right. It has to be this game because this is for first place right now in a district that last year took a beating last year when it got to the playoffs.
Hmm.
So there are four schools that went to the playoffs, all got knocked out first round. So they're trying to make a true stance and a true, like, hey man, we are a great district. So here we are. So I give it to Mike in that perspective when he picked this one. And then to hear us all talk the games, this has to be the game of the week.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, it's the last game of the day as far as all the juggernauts that we usually kind of list. Because John Jay's playing Southwest Legacy,
That's
uh,
gonna be
Southwest, Southwest playing McCullum, but I don't think McCullum's going to give him a good run. But I don't see McCullum knocking off Southwest, and I definitely don't see Legacy beating John Jay. Thoughts?
I agree. You know me how I feel about John Jay. I feel like John Jay's got a chance to be playing in the dome at the end of it all.
Yeah,
I
I,
feel
and, and
like a chance.
I hear you, and I'm gonna say it's two schools that you mentioned or that I'm going to mention that say no, and that's the Corpus Christi Vets
Uh-huh.
and Wagner.
Yeah. No, those are two tough teams, but like I said, I do believe Jay. It would not surprise me one bit if Jay's playing in the Alamo Dome.
Okay,
They have a chance. They have a puncher's.
okay. Mike, what's your thoughts on that?
Can't argue with facts,
Okay.
and the fact that I want to see it anyway. But definitely can't argue with facts.
Well, unfortunately, we got to wait to the playoffs to see those three teams play each other or match up somehow. It's going to happen in the playoffs because the District J's in compared to
That's
Wagner and
that's
Vets
the
are
only
different.
thing. I don't know. The good thing is John Jay has had a good pre-district schedule, but the district is going to prepare some of these other teams a little bit more because I think John Jay, they're the king of the hill in their district, in my opinion.
They are. There was the Southwest Dragons.
Yeah.
They
So
are
the
they are are bar none. But the scary here's that fearful part. Their district not being as strong as their pre district, right? Is it going to help them? Where are they going to get their steam to go back to face, when they get to that playoff run? That's my fear
Yeah.
with John Jay, because it's hard to continue playing at a level when that other side of the level is not there, pushing you and challenging you. It's kind of like practice,
Hmm.
and so that's my biggest fear and concern with John Jay, because they're. I mean, I'm gonna just go on record to say, because they're gonna walk through their district. Okay, are they who is going to challenge them district wise? And that's my fear for when they get to playoffs with John Jay.
Right. And I can concur with that. Like you talked about practice. I got to say, in this past summer, my team, we started playing better after we had that joint practice with you guys. Okay,
That was a great day.
we had a good joint practice, and the competition was there. It wasn't just the same old guys you play against in practice every Tuesday, Thursday, whatever. We played against you guys. Brought in your uniforms. We had our uniforms. We had a joint scrimmage practice, and we played a lot better. So I agree with you on that, and that's the thing. Like I said, that scares me a little bit. They're head and shoulders above in their district. So let's see if they can keep that edge.
Mhm.
Hey, quick side note. Uh, that Johnson Reagan game. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are tracking. Uh, Churchill waxed Clark yesterday.
Did
I
they
saw that.
really?
I saw.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
So
whoa!
this
That's
so
about a
this game
goalie.
is this game is definitely got some fire and vigor, because the winner of this stands alone up top of that district
Yes,
right now.
yes.
Not saying the rest of the district ain't gonna be a thriller. I'm just saying that right here, right now, like, look, just seeing that Clark took a little L to Churchill yesterday definitely adds weight to this game now.
Mhm.
Yes, it does. Wow. And you know what? I didn't go back to look and see who won that, but we talked about it briefly. Remember, Mike? We talked about it a little bit as reference to who won that game, and you were like, we'll check on it later. And I did not go back to see who won that game because we knew what happened in the on the other side where
Hmm.
in District 28, but we didn't look and see what 27 was doing. Wow. Okay, that hurts. That hurts. That really stand. Then I really think then I think I'm gonna be. I think Johnson's really gonna win even more now.
They're rolling
So
like it's gonna be a hell of a game. But you know what's the fun part? You
so
know
you
that
said
both coaches are
Churchill beat
preparing.
Clark?
Churchill handled Clark, not beat Clark. They handled Clark.
Wow. I did not see that coming right there.
Well,
You just blew
I
my
can't. Let me
mind.
tell you why. Let me tell you why. Churchill took a bad loss. Nothing against my guy, Coach Martinez over at Madison. And nothing
Mm-hmm.
against the Madison program. Uh, Churchill winning the match. Remember we talked about, what have we said? Every game, you cannot take any nights off.
Correct. Correct.
Churchill winning the Madden. I was there. They win the Madison half stepping. They messed around and let them get some steam. And then that freshman, right, not Bryson, you want to get his name right. Uh, their 2028 phenom got some steam, and they couldn't stop them. And at the end of the day, Madison wins by 3. So Churchill was a little pissed coming off of that. They took a bad L.
Right.
That's one of those you can't get back. And so I think Clark probably did the same thing. Man, them dudes lost to Madison. Wow, we ain't got nothing to worry about. And before they knew it,
Facts.
Churchill was on that head. And so yeah, can't take. We've been saying this since June. The high school basketball season is going to be fun come district, because you cannot take any nights off. And
Man.
that is a district you damn sure,
Yeah.
the top 4 can change in the blink of an eye.
Lincoln and I. Yeah. And that's what happened last year for District 27 for when, Steele, Clemens, East Central, and Judson. That right there happened. All 5 of them were battling for the top 4. Steele and East Central had to do a playing game, and Steele swore they was going to beat East Central. They beat them before, right? They split, so it's like, oh, we had them. Wrong. Wrong.
Yo, East Central played some of the best defense I've ever seen in a basketball game. Like they were fierce
Well,
that
the
night.
game that catches my memory the most is when they played Reagan. I
I
went to
was
that
there for that
game
one. Same
late.
thing.
Remember? I
Same
came
thing.
late.
Yeah.
Remember?
Same
I
thing.
came.
That defense, that it was suffocating.
Yeah, it was. It was. It was. Yeah, yeah. And that's what they're doing this year. So that's why, again, that's why East Central got to win a huge double digit win against the Rockets. So again, be ready. All I'm saying, and still, still got lucky because they snuck one in and they got away with it, but they beat East Central barely. So, so yeah, yeah, it's gonna be like district is great right now. District is great. So who's
That time.
stopping who's stopping who giving Brennan a chance?
Next,
Who's giving
next,
Brennan a
next
fight? I
question.
should say.
Well,
Next question.
let's go to our sponsors real quick.
Yeah.
Well, look, I wanted to add something this year. I'm gonna remove myself from the final thoughts.
You know,
And I wanted to,
hold on 1 second. We Brandon is so good that you could take Kingston Flemings out of the lineup and put his cousin Kingston Fleming without the S in the lineup, and they still win.
I mean, hey, boy, I tell you, boy, hey, listen, he ain't been happy since them Cowboys ain't win no games, man. But I'm gonna keep it moving, and I wanted to add a new segment to the show. And it's not that we can't make this up, and we can't make this up. Mike's final thoughts, and then we're just gonna give it Mike's moment. So, Rich, we just sit back and we're gonna let Mike put your phone, put your Zoom on mute, and let's
Hey
let Mike
man.
have a rant or rave or whatever he wants to do. You got 5 minutes, Mike. The time
Woo!
starts
Hey,
now.
be careful giving me time like that, bro.
Again, you have 5 minutes, sir. The time
No,
starts now.
I don't even need that. So I'm gonna make this real quick and sweet. Something else I witnessed yesterday. Uh, Parents, when AAU coaches start coming to you, because it's that time of year, okay, they're about to start getting out there, and they're gonna start approaching you and your players and whatnot. Don't fall for the okey doke. You know, if a coach is selling hopes and dreams, do some homework. You know, and when you do that homework, if they're selling you hopes and dreams with an all unsigned senior team, run. If they're not playing in all the live periods, run. If they're not putting these unsigned seniors along with whatever classification ball player that you have, and they're not putting them in an opportune area to one, play against competition, right? Two, be seen, have an opportunity to play in front of coaches. If your ball player has aspirations to play on the next level, run. Hell, if you don't know, call Tally, call myself, call DeLeon. There are some folks out there that do not have these kids' best interests at heart. And to the coaches that are out here using unsigned seniors for local yokel events, because I run tournaments at the Sportsplex, there are not going to be any college coaches at any of our events, but not everybody wants to travel. There are some kids that just staying out of trouble, just staying in shape and just hooping, getting ready for the high school season. And guess what? That's okay because there's levels and lanes of this. But to you coaches, stop selling these bogus hopes and dreams and lies to these people. Stop using kids in that manner, and you're not doing anything with them. Stop it. I said what I said. Anybody want me to elaborate? 210-845-8061. I'll at me. That's all I got.
It's a lot shorter than I thought it was gonna be.
Told you,
A
quick
lot
and to the
shorter.
point.
It's to the point. To the point. But real quick, you left something to where I just want to make you elaborate just a little bit. The only reason why, just because again, when we talked about this, we definitely want to we don't want to we don't want to take shots at anybody, or we don't want to mislead parents as if we're not giving the full information. So can you elaborate a little bit more on the unsigned senior piece of what does that mean to a parent who has a kid that's a 2027 that possibly has the opportunity to play a bunch of 17U events, but they might have an unsigned senior on the team to where though they want, let's say they're on the, let's use the example, they play on the prep hoop circuit right now, but but the team is carrying, or at certain events they bring unsigned seniors. Can you elaborate a little bit?
Unsigned seniors, folks. I'll use Julian from O'Connor last year. When March and April came along, Julian was an unsigned senior. He had not signed yet, right? So he was still able and eligible to play in circuit events because that kid still needed an opportunity to get signed. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm talking about if guys are using unsigned seniors to run around San Antonio to say you won something. These kids that have no aspirations to play college basketball, they're not trying to do anything to play college basketball. Stay away from those situations because that coach that's using those unsigned seniors, if those unsigned seniors aren't playing in an unsigned senior event, they have no business playing. Because if their aspirations aren't to play at the next level, then what are they getting out of playing against sophomores and juniors playing in the varsity division tournament locally? Go play at St. George Maronite in the Drews Men's League. That's all I'm saying.
And then real quick, an unsigned senior, you said again, was a kid who so like this year, upcoming 2025, unsigned senior is a player who's graduating this year, but has not signed for any schools or know what college they're going to, correct?
That is correct.
So technically they have no more eligibility of high school available, correct? After this year.
Not till I got to get the exact date of when it cuts off. Like they
Yeah,
could play
it's
through the end of the
July.
school year, but
It's
yeah,
July.
it's something I got to go get the exact. But yeah,
Yeah.
but for
They
me, but for
they
me, if that kid has no aspirations, if you're a coach putting that kid on a team, you that unsigned senior should play in no full court athletic events. That unsigned senior should be playing in no Alamo City All Stars events. That unsigned senior should be playing in Alamo City hoops. Should be playing in prep hoops, Puma, UA, Rock, all the event, Gasso, all the events that allow the unsigned seniors that still have an opportunity to get picked up by a school. That's where an
Right.
unsigned senior with aspirations should be playing.
So the live periods then is what you're saying.
Definitely the live period. If your
Okay.
schedule doesn't have all the live periods on there and you're out here selling hopes and dreams to parents, stop it.
Okay. Good. Good point. Good point. Um, so Rich, you have any final thoughts yourself?
Whew. That was a good one, man. That was a good one right there. That's a good final thought. Um, for me, my final thoughts, I mean, as we get into um, the district part of the schedule and all that, um, a lot of these kids need to focus on what's in front of them, which is district. Okay, I know a lot of kids that I know, they're kind of focused in on that spot of their life right now, which is what they should be. We'll be getting into a new semester next week, and they just have to keep up the grind. This is the hard part of the year. I know when I was an educator, Mike, you were an educator as well. Um, I think coming back from the holiday break was always it felt like the grind. It felt like the grind after coming back from the holiday break. You had that beginning of the school year, but then you have Thanksgiving, Christmas, and it breaks everything up. Right now, these kids, they're going into the grind. They're not going to get a significant time off until spring break. So this is the time of year where they really have to lock in on those grades and keep going. And I know Mike always talks about nutrition and hydration and taking care of themselves. This is that time of year where you really have to zone in on that. Um, and then, as we keep moving forward, I'll have more to say about the spring and summer aspect of it. Although Mike had some great, great points that I really agree with 110% there. And that's all I got.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Well, something I'm gonna try to do new. Um, so I'm gonna remove myself from the final thoughts. The only reason why is just I don't want to become redundant with what things I think of and I want to say. So it was like, but it's something that I'm really interested in reference. That's our history of basketball here in the city of San Antonio. And I just want to try to share some of that history with some of the kids and the parents and just people who don't really know because yes, we are a city that has a lot of tourism here, but a lot of things and a lot of people do decide to settle down here in San Antonio. And I just wanted to make sure they understand that no, we're not the biggest and the richest city when it comes to youth sports, when it comes to basketball, but we do have a history and we do at one time, San Antonio did compete well at basketball. So one of my history thoughts is the very first school, and I'll ask you either one of this. You don't have to know, then shout it out. But what was the very first school to win the UIL basketball championship? Do you know, Rich?
Man, I can't even tell you. I know there's some teams, like
No, you don't got. Yeah, if you don't know, it's cool.
John
'Cause I
James.
didn't know this either. I'm
I,
cheating, so I had
I
to
know
look this up.
I know there's some from back in the day, maybe Lanier or something, way back in the 50s or something like that. 50s.
Okay, okay. Lanier's close. They rolled. There was a time that Lanier was tough. What about you, Mike? You want to stab at it?
Uh, I'm gonna go with, let's
Don't be,
see.
don't be cheating.
I'm not cheating at all. I'm showing you who I'm going with.
All right. Okay. Good choice. Good choice. But you're a little early. I'm gonna go further back. 1925, 1926 season. Brackenridge was the
Right.
very first school to win a UIL boys championship.
There you go.
1925, 1926 was the very first San Antonian school to win UIL.
UIL boys basketball.
Boys basketball, yes, yes, yes. So I just want to share that fact. I don't, and no, I don't know any of the players, and I don't have those guys. The roster wasn't. I didn't look up the roster. I just wanted to give a fun fact about 1925, 1926 season.
Oh, that's the year. That's the year that Pablo Escobar from Pancho Villa's Freedom Rock got eligibility to play for Brackenridge. That's right.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. But hey, man, I appreciate you guys again, man. Believe it or not, this was show number 19. Next week's show will be our 20th show.
Man,
Our 20th
should we get a
show.
cake and candles for the 20th
We
show?
get a cake, we get a candles. We're gonna do it back at the the home studio. Because of Mike and everything we do, and I'm gonna do everything I have to do to make sure that's a live episode. So we're
That's
gonna
not,
go live. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to look at our schedules to make sure we make this work because I wanna make sure it's a time to where as though we all can be here and we all can do it. Okay.
that
They're
sounds
good.
really
All
good.
right,
Hey, but
Rich.
you didn't give your input on my on Mike's moment. You didn't have any input, Mister Tally.
Well, I'm torn because I know exactly what you're saying, and it's one of those topics I want to definitely and I will give my input really when we get closer to AAU. But you're absolutely right, and I do want to make sure parents are educated to know what it is to be an unsigned senior and what it is to look for the right program. And if you're if your kid and they're selling you the dream of, hey, I want your kid to be this player on this team, you could possibly be hurting your player by playing with the unsigned seniors. Because for me, I'm the old school coach who believes, hey, if I have unsigned seniors, my job is to have a team full of unsigned seniors that I'm trying to make sure we're at every live period and that we're not playing in town. We're playing, i.e., Houston. We're playing, i.e., Dallas, to make sure my unsigned seniors are playing the toppest, not the toppest, but the best competition that they can play. I know, right? I caught myself. I'm about to say the toppest competition. What the hell? Excuse my language. But the best competition that they could play to allow them to prepare themselves for college. Because obviously, if my unsigned seniors did not sign yet, two things are going on. They have not been introduced to the proper colleges, and they're trying to achieve a level of a college play that they're not ready for. And I use the story of me when I coached the 24s. I told my guys, hey, out the gate, hey man, if we're not trying to make sure all the D3s know us, hey man, I'm sorry. None of our guys were ranked. I had no 5 stars or 6 or 4-star kids. So no one even knew about us. So our job was to make sure the colleges that we visited and that we knew we had the best chance to get into those colleges. So that's what we did. We visited a lot of D3s. So, you know, and if you're being fibbed to and you're and it goes back to what Mike's saying, if you're trying to attain a college that you're not ready to play in, I'm sorry. Because if D1s and I don't know if you guys saw it, but I sent out how Kingston Flemings got his last star, what the guy talked about from Yahoo. He talked about it. He said, what is a 5-star recruit? A 5-star recruit is a kid that's going to a D1 that's going to make an impact on that school right away. So, hey guys, that's not me saying this. This is someone else. This is the guy who does this. That's his job to find the guys just looking for the stars. I'm
Right.
just saying. So that's my input, Mike.
I'm going to say, I'm going to add this. Mike is absolutely right when he's talking about hurting your kid if your kid has aspirations to play basketball. Because now I think, what was it, last week? They announced that JUCO time won't impact your eligibility. Is that correct?
That is accurate.
So that just muddies the water for D3, D2, because I mean, if your kid is not a difference maker, even if he's not a 5-star, if your kid's not a difference maker, so to speak, a lot of these coaches are going to look to that transfer portal before they look to a high school senior. So you got to make the right decisions your junior year. And like Mike said, play with an organization that's going to take care of you and not lie to you and make sure that you are playing in the right events, especially if you have a kid. I'll just throw out Hagen, for instance. You got a kid like Hagen who right now is already probably on some radars. You got to make the right decisions. And a kid like Hagen has got Mike there taking care of him and making sure he's in the right situation to succeed and position well in the marketplace, so to speak. So with that JUCO ruling that just happened, it's going to muddy the waters for a lot of these kids. So I think what you said is very important.
Man, what's gonna muddy the water for some of these kids is crackhead and clown guys on social media bashing AAU and bashing trainers and bashing this and bashing that. You might need to get some of these guys a hug or something, man. Some of the stuff I see online just aggravates and annoys the living heck out of me. Like, you that mad at AAU basketball because nobody wanted to play for you or what? Like, the negativity I see sometimes is rather annoying. Continuation of Mike's moment, I'm just not going into it, but parents just my thing is want to look out for parents and players. Like, I told a parent that came to me with this yesterday. I told him, I said, look, man, I'm like, if your son is going to be used, because at the end of the day, all of us want the top kid. We want to be able to have that kid that gets signed somewhere, right? If you're gonna have your kid be used, have them be used by a program that's going to do right by him. And when I say do right by him, that means putting them in the place and in the area of the basketball courts and venues that they need to be in. Don't fall for any other okie dokes. That's all I'm getting at. That's all it boils down to. I'll stop right there.
So when
Um,
we're when we're talking about people bad mouthing AAU, what's the purpose of that? Because we know playing in summer ball, club ball, tournament ball, that's where a lot of these kids are getting found. Most of them are getting
some
found.
people are just hurt. Some people are just butt hurt. They tried it, weren't successful with it, and the only thing to do is to bash out and lash out and straight haterade. And so you look real goofy doing it. I mean, you look goofy, period. But when you start doing stuff like that, you look even goofier. And so that's what it boils down to, man. And some of these catches really need to stop.
Well, what's the alternative then?
You
Like
gotta
what's
ask, you gotta go to any San Antonio youth group right now. You'll find the clown. You'll
yeah,
find it.
and I'm trying to find out what's their alternative to playing tournament basketball. That's my
Go ask him. He'll entertain you. Go ask him. Go ahead. And tag me so I can watch. I'm gonna get my cashews and I'm gonna watch. Go ahead.
yeah. I got you. That might be something we experiment with this week, Mike.
No, not we. You. I'm good. I'm just gonna watch.
No, you come on, man. All right, okay, I got you. I got you. I'll take this one.
I've been there and done that. That's why I don't put that energy toward it anymore. Like once I realize your credibility, your resume is shot, I pay you no more mind.
I don't mess with I don't mess with the youth groups there. I should, but I don't. I stay away from them. Believe it or not, I don't. I don't.
You know what you really need to be? You should stay away from it. You got people that don't have a team or an organization, but every time a parent needs a team home, somebody putting their team name on there like they're still going. Like y'all ain't had a team and nothing in forever. Like why are you doing it? Stop. You know,
Yeah,
I don't understand some of these cats, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just and again, I don't know if they ploys or they tricks, but yeah, I have not ever got anything out of the youth groups. So I just yeah. Even when
I have.
I was doing uniforms. Yeah, I just word of mouth, word of mouth. That's how the Sharks grew. 80 Elite, word of mouth. They seen kids playing. Hey man, they like what we were doing. That's all. That's all it was. That's all it was. So same thing for the Nike Pro Skills. You know, we just word of mouth is the best way. You know, keep playing. You know
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
Facts.
Rich, you wanna do like normal?
Yeah, yeah.
Take
And
us home. Take us
just a
home,
little
brother.
just a little update, man. Arizona State, since we've been on this on our show, Arizona State's been in the red zone 3 times, and now they only have 3 points to show for it. So Arizona State really dropping some opportunities here to knock off Texas. 17-8 right now with 41 seconds left in the third quarter. So
At least they have more than 2 points.
yeah, that's true. Well, hey guys, I guess we're done. Is that it? We're wrapping up.
Yeah, unless you got something else you want to chop up, man. Like I said, this
No,
was a special edition just to say Happy New Year's to everybody. Thank them again. We're in mode to continue bringing great content to to the city of San Antonio and the great area.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
yeah, man. Unless you got something, unless you want to talk about one more something else,
No, we're good, man.
you know.
Man. But then, hey, Happy New Year to everyone. New Year. I've been seeing that on Facebook too. New Year's. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everybody had a great holiday season with their families, and we're able to spend a lot of time with those that they love. Um, and remember, going forward in 2025, there's no better time to like and subscribe and share out this content. We're going to keep going. We got a lot of good basketball that we talk about. And also in 2025, I think we should all focus on treating everyone with kindness because guess what? It don't cost a dime. And after Christmas, I ain't got a dime. So that's all I got to treat y'all with kindness and love and respect, man.
Thanks again, fellas. See y'all this weekend.
Yes, sir.